Some people look at art and wish they could do it themselves, even though they can't draw a straight line. Even though painting and drawing are fun, relaxing ways to spend some stress free time. Hi, I'm Steven Lipton, and I'm not a professional artist, but an amateur one who also is colorblind with hand coordination problems. If I can do stuff like this, you can too. I'm also an educator with 40 years of teaching experience. I'll show you the secrets to making good art and having some fun with traditional looking painting techniques in the digital world on the iPad with the Procreate app. We'll learn how to use digital media with traditional techniques to make art you'll enjoy making. You won't get a professional illustrator or comic book job, but you will enjoy the art process and have some fun and relaxation along the way. So join me on a journey through drawing, sketching, painting, and more in Procreate as we build your skills to draw and paint in Procreate. As a preview, I'm going to show you how I make a bowl just from memory. And the way I'll do this is I have Procreate up, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus key up here. Now, you'll see it's asked you for a new canvas, and I'm just going to use the screen size. And that gets me a blank screen. Now you notice if you're looking at my iPad that I'm using just a regular iPad, and I could use my Apple Pencil, but I often, when I'm working in charcoal, which is the technique I'm going to show you, I'll just use my fingers because it works a lot better and it's just a lot more fun. I've also set here the gauges on the side here for sizes to be on the right-hand side because I'm left-handed. If you're right-handed, you may want to go over here to Prefs, and where it says right hand interface, switch it over to the other side. This way you can use your non-dominant hand to change the scale of stuff as you're working. I'm going to set that back again so you can put it in the right place. And I'm ready to go. Now I'm going to set some things up here. I'm going to start up here with the brush, and I'm going to set a brush to charcoals, and I'm going to use Vine Charcoal. And then I'm going to go over here to the blender. And it gives me a brush library. I'm again going to pick charcoals, which is up here for me. And I've got Vine Charcoal. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the eraser. Tap it once and tap it again. And this one's still set for Vine Charcoal. So I'm good to go. I'm also going to set a color. And I happen to like colors over here in a kind of reddish brown color. So I'm going to pick that as my usual color. It gets a nice warm feel to it. And I'm ready to start. Now, the way I do this for one of these is I may actually make a couple of lines first. And I'll start with a circle. So I'm just going to rub my finger around in a circle like this. This works a lot better because you're using your arm, not your wrist or your fingers. And I'm just pointing like this so that my finger becomes my stylus. And I just go around and around like that. And I get a nice little circle here. Now what I'm going to do is in the middle of the circle, I'm going to make an oval. And I'll go over that a couple times. And I've made most of what I need for a bowl to start with here. Now the top part I can do two things with. I'm going to actually erase it. So I'm going to set up the eraser and just erase those top lines a little bit so they don't get in the way. And I have my general shape of a bowl here. I'm going to bring down the eraser again. I'm going to go over here to my brush and start putting some color in. Now, I'm only using one color here, and so I'm going to use the dark colors are going to be my brush, and my light colors are going to be my eraser. And so I'm going to do my light coming from this side. And so what will happen is this part over here is going to be light, and this part over here is going to be dark. And to make it darker, I'm going to bring up my opacity and then put a little bit of scribble here. Now this is an open bowl, and with light, that means that in a hollow shape, the inside will be the opposite of the outside. And so I'll put a little color in there. And so I've got this started. Now I'll go to blend. And with the blend on, I can now just start rubbing my fingers on this, and that's a little small, so I'm going to bring it up to about 8% to start. And you can see that it's starting to rub in. It's still a little small. I'm also going to bring up the opacity a bit, and that starts bringing in some color, and I start getting the shape of a bowl. I can do the same thing on top here, and just rub it so that I get a little bit of a bowl shape, just like that. And we're already seeing quite a nice bowl here. I'm going to go to my eraser here, and I'm going to put a little bit of lighter color in here where the bowl is, and then I'll blend that a bit. And I'll do the same thing up here on the opposite side and blend that a little bit. Okay, and that's pretty much my bowl. I'm going to do two more things just to make the bowl look a little better. And I'm going to go over here to my brush, and I'm going to bring it up in the high opacity. And I'm going to trace around the outside of this a bit so that you can see the light here. And I don't want to see my arrow either, so I'll put that out there. And I can just scribble around over there. And now I can go back into here. I'm going to go a little closer in by pinching. And I'm just going to brush in here so I can get some sense of this. And I'm actually going to get a little closer here. Shut down my opacity, bring down my size, and I'm going to add a little more darkness so I don't get a halo. And then blend that in. So I get the close part of this. Open it up again, bring up my size, give myself a little bit outside the bowl so I can see that outside a bit. Go back to my brush, and I'll bring that up to about 14 and give myself a nice shadow behind the bowl like that. And I am pretty much done. I'm probably going to do one more thing here, is that edge of that bowl right here tends to get a reflection. So we're going to see a little bit of reflection here. So I'll go back and forth with the eraser a little bit more here and then just blend it out. Oops. I'll undo that. And I'm just going to blend it out just a little bit here. And same thing on the other side with the brush. Again, too big, so I'll undo that with a 2 tap. And we'll just draw an arc in here so that we can see that a little better. And might blend it out just a little bit here because we're going to get a little bit of shadow on the outside of this as well. All right, and so that's what we get. We get pretty nice looking bowl here. Then you can go ahead and you can sign it, and I'll go ahead and sign my name here. And you have a painting. So this is what we'll be doing. We'll be doing things in charcoal to start, and then we'll go to some of the other media that is in Procreate. That includes painting and drawing with pencil and with oil paint and acrylic and other kinds of paints. And we'll be launching this series on December 1st with several episodes, and then be creating new ones every week. So go ahead and look for me on YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn. You can follow me on Twitter at Steve Lipton. Let me write that out here. On Twitter so that you can find updates and news about the course.